Welcome to Mishkan, Katan. All right, let's try this. I hope it can be heard now. And see, I'm getting some feedback. All right, I somehow doubled myself, so I don't know what the problem is here. Oh, that's better. Okay. All right. I hope I can be heard now. All right, we'll proceed and hope that this works. Uh, I'm still hearing some feedback, um, and that's very distracting to me. So I just have to hope you're not hearing it. If you're hearing it, please let me know in the chat and see if I can figure out what to do. All right. Now then. All right. I'm also going to try something else, something that I learned. So see if this works. I have created a banner, and let me see if I can find it. I'm going to start it across my screen. There it goes. It works. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna go back to comments and just please post a comment if you hear feedback. I'm not really sure why this is doing this, um, but I'm just gonna proceed. All right. Still see on my end two of me, and I can't ask. I've got one mic muted, but I still hear feedback. So I apologize for the technical difficulties this morning. Um, just just let me know in the comments if you hear any feedback or anything for you. And I'm gonna try to repair it and go on. All right. Okay. After all of that, um, we are finishing up study this week of my trip to Israel that I took in June, and we're on day 14. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful trip it was. We began the day with a stop at the Mount Olive. Now, a lot of people, when they go to Israel, they begin the trip at the Mount of Olives, but that's not what we did. We we ended there, and we did there for 3 reasons. The first one that I would like to highlight and talk about today is we went to a site on the mount called Domino Filet. I've never heard of this place. I visited Israel twice before, and I've never heard of this place. So, um, this was this was a real treat. Well, Domino's Club is a church, and it's run by the Roman Catholics. And the first thing that we saw there and learned about was something that is called the ossuary of Simon Peter Bar Jonah. Now, there was an ossuary there with a body in it that the body was entombed there sometime between 66 or 67 era, and it was in a section of the cemetery that had been used between 30 CE and 7 CE. Simon Jonah was how we know Christian world Simon Peter is known. And also, there were ossuary for Mary, Martha, and Lazarus there. And you know who they are. You've heard of them from the apostolic writing, the New Testament. Now, also, a something called a chiron. or maybe it's Kira. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Chiro, Chiron, I believe. But a Chiron was an egg with a P in the middle of it. And that was the seal of Peter that was used by the Roman Catholic Church in the early years after it got going. Now, the Catholic Church had for years and still does maintain that Simon Peter was buried in Rome. But according to my teachers, Simon Peter never even went to Rome. He never even made it there, much less died and was buried there. And when James the Judge, that same one who was the half brother of Jesus and who also wrote the book of James in the Bible, when James the Judge uh, was first bishop in Jerusalem of the followers of Yeshua, uh, he said that Simon Peter returned from Babylon and took over that position as bishop of Jerusalem, and he was killed in Jerusalem during the first war between the Jews and the Romans. And that same war was the one which included the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem and the hinted at Messiah. As a friend of mine put it, Peter died with a sword in his hand and his seat on the corner of his garment. My friend was quoting the historian and church leader Eusebius. Well, this is probably more history than many want, particularly if you're hearing it with feedback. But one of the experts in this matter was on the trip with us. He related to the group that the ossuary of Simon Peter Bar Jonah was discovered by two Jesuit archaeologists in the Christian section of this cemetery in the year 1953. In fact, they discovered about 500 ossuaries in this location and about 7 caves there on the mound. The Pope at that time traveled to Jerusalem to see these artifacts, and he agreed wholeheartedly that it was the ossuary of the Simon Peter. But he asked the men, the two desperate archaeologists, to hold off on publishing their discovery until Rome could manage how it would be announced and so forth. Well, yes, they were told by the Church of Rome to keep it quiet. As you can imagine, Rome very well, if you'll pardon that atrocious pun, an article was written by the church about the ossuary and the remains within in 1958. Essentially, the article covered the discovery of. At that time, Rome had had plenty of time to roll this out, put their spin on it, shall we say. But nothing was announced, nor has anything been announced in the years since. Well, further, the ossuary has been confiscated by the Vatican, and when you inquire about it in Rome, you are told that it is being kept in a secret location. Apparently, when it was found, it had been vandalized, resulting in the stone of the ossuary being cracked. It's taken Rome quite a while restore it at times. See, the Roman Church has a vested interest in Simon Peter, the first pope, as they call him, being buried in Rome. They have a big tomb there that the faithful visit, and they genuflect that and all that stuff. So this would be quite a big, costly, embarrassing, huge mistake. Okay, embarrassing and costly, and Rome just doesn't want to go there. So in order to avoid that, they just covered it up and buried another atrocious pun. The most recent photos of this ossuary were made in 1961 until one of my friend's associates, a renowned archaeologist and biblical historian, actually held the ossuary in his hands, and color photos were made at that time, and they're available. So reason number two that we visited Dominus Flevit was that in that same church complex, it is believed to have been the location where Jesus stopped on his way into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, and where he spoke the words we find recorded in Matthew 23, verse 37, which said, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wing, but you would not." And the third reason that we went to Donald's Fled was because his belief, many, particularly Jewish sources, to be the location of where the red heifer offering was made. Now, I could go on at length, and I'm going to give some links today to you about red heifer offering. But if you want more information about it, there's a really excellent book that was written by Rabbi Tiny Richmond, and the name of that book is Mystery of the Red Heifer. So I recommend that you get that book and check it out. It has excellent information in it about the red heifer. All right. Now, a few things about the red heifer that I'm going to go over with you today. The reason I'm going to do that is because I will share with you that teaching on the red heifer is what piqued my interest in the Messianic movement. I learned about the Messianic movement actually, and a friend of mine who is my Messian. She invited me to her home to hear a teaching on the red heifer. I was like, what in the world is that? And so I did find myself woefully ignorant. I thought, well, I'm just going to go and know. So I did. So red heifer, let me tell you a bit about that. The the offering, the passage that is relevant is from Numbers chapter 19. And we're going to be looking at verses 1 through 13, and I'm going to be reading to you from the English Standard Version. Now, the Lord spoke to Moshe to Aaron, saying, "This is the statute of the law that the Lord has commanded. Tell the people of Israel to bring you a red heifer without defect, in which there is no blemish, and on which a yoke has never come. And you shall give it to Eleazar the priest, the cook, and it shall be taken outside the camp and slaughtered before him. And Eleazar the priest shall take some of his blood with his finger some of its blood toward the front of the tent of meeting 7 times, and the heifer shall be burned in his side. Its skin, its flesh, and its blood, along with its dung, shall be burned. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet yarn and throw them into the fire, burning the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into camp. But the priest shall be unclean until evening. The one who burns the heifer shall wash his clothes in water and bathe his body in water, and shall be unclean until evening. And a man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and deposit them outside the camp in a clean place, and they shall be kept for the water for impurity, for the congregation of the people of Israel. It is a sin offering. And the one who gathered ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. And this shall be a perpetual statute for the people of Israel and for the stranger who sojourns among them. Whoever touches the dead body of any person shall be unclean 7 days. He shall cleanse himself with the water on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, so as to be clean. But if he does not cleanse himself on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, he will not become clean. Whoever touches a dead person, the body of anyone who has died, and does not cleanse himself, defiles the tabernacle of the Lord, and that person shall be cut off from Israel, because water for impurity was not thrown on him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is still on him. That all sounds pretty serious, heavy, doesn't it? Yeah. Now, there's a passage in Hebrews 9, verses 13 and 14, that I will read to you next. And it says this: For in the blood of goats and bulls and the sprinkling of defiled persons with the ashes of a heifer sanctified for the purification of the flesh, how much more will the blood of Christ, who through eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, purify our conscience from dead works to serve the living God? So you can see that this practice was still in place when the writer of Hebrews wrote Hebrews, which seems to indicate the date of the book of Hebrews was before the destruction of the temple. I'm just throwing that in extra, no extra charge. I believe it was written shortly before the temple was destroyed, based on this verse and some other hints that are given in the book. And I covered that when we taught Hebrews. Now, the uncleanness that's referred to in the Old Testament is typical of general uncleanness, which means absence of life. The sacrificial system was all about death and life, separating holy from the profane, the clean from the unclean. And it provided the thoughts of all Israelites. God had given his people strict rules and regulations about dwelling with their sin, typified by uncleanness. Sin brings death. Also, everything in the Old Testament points in some way to Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. The remedy for sin in the Old Testament was some sort of shedding of the blood of an animal. Usually it was a bull, a lamb, a goat, or a small animal. But in all cases, the sacrifice to be the best of the flock, the purest specimen available. Now, a red heifer was a rare specimen, one which the Israelites believed God provided supernaturally when He wanted a red heifer sacrifice to be made. This rare sacrifice only made by the Jews a few times. Jewish tradition says 7 times since it was first made in the third millennium after creation. Israelites were constantly on the lookout for the appearance of a pure red heifer so that the dish could be made to restore a person to cleanness after the person had contact with a dead body. It was the only way to cleanse the person from that type of defilement. And so, as we look at this special animal and special sacrifice, we'll also make connections to the life and ministry of Jesus, our Messiah. Now, Jews are still looking for a red heifer today. In fact, in real time, as I'm teaching today, there have been recently 5 red heifers discovered in the United States, and they were transported to Israel, and they were kept in a secure location. When I was in Israel, I had hoped we would get to see those red heifers, but we were not allowed to. I don't know if it was because we couldn't work it into our schedule or the people who keep the red heifers just didn't think it was appropriate or what. We weren't allowed to see them. Now, one of those 5 has since been disqualified, and I believe there are still 4 that are still running to be the next red heifer. But you couldn't just find a red heifer and then immediately sacrifice it. The red heifer had to be pure, blemish, or defect, as it says in Numbers 15:1. And similarly, Yeshua was pure and sinless, without blemish or spot, as we read in Hebrews 9:13 through 14. The red heifer was purchased at a high price according to Jewish tradition. The high price was demanded because of animal character. It was paid for with money from the temple treasury. Now, Yeshua, God's only begotten Son, given for our salvation, cost Father God dearly. We're told this in Romans 8:32. The 30 pieces of silver paid to Judas, guess where they came from? The temple treasury. They surely did. Third, the red heifer came from the flock of Israel, not from non-Jewish people groups. Now, the red person in this group that's being considered, I don't know all the lines and wherefore who raised them, but I can guarantee you they were bred and born and cared for under the strictest kosher standards. They are constantly under inspection by kosher rabbis. Otherwise, like one of 5, they would have all been disqualified. Likewise, Yeshua, our Mashiach, was Jewish, is Jewish, and of the genealogy of King David, as was demanded for Messiah. Now, relevant background. The first temple was built by King Solomon, but it was destroyed by the Babylonians. who leveled Jerusalem's gate and the temple and carted off the able-bodied Jews to Babylon for 70 years of exile. At the end of that time, the Jews were allowed to return to Jerusalem in three major ways, one of which began the building of the temple. This temple is commonly called the Second Temple. As Ezra oversaw the construction or reconstruction, that is, he made provision for the red heifer sacrifice because you cannot have a temple without a red heifer. And what the Temple Institute and other institutions like over in Israel will tell you today is that the only thing lacking to rebuild the temple is a qualified red heifer sacrifice according to kosher rules revealed in Scripture and having its passion that which can purify the temple and the people entering the temple. So the red heifer is the linchpin, you might say. But Israel made provision for a red heifer sacrifice. That second temple was rebuilt on Mount Moriah near the northeast corner of the city of Jerusalem. The closest gate was the inspection gate called the Akkad, that was fruit, or Mishkan, which in Hebrew means to count. It was the narrowest of all the gates, and it was the inspection gate that was referenced in Jesus' word in Matthew 7:13 and 14. In the ESV, it reads, enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many, for the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Now, the inspection gate next to the sheep gate, and it was through the sheep gate, Jesus' time, that the sheep and the goats would pass through, those animals designated for animal sacrifices. And you may recall that through the sheep gate that Jesus rode on the donkey on Sunday. And the let's see, there are two more things I wanted to tell you about that gate. Um, well, I can't find it. I thought I had a reference to it in my notes here, but I don't see it. So we'll just go on. Sorry for the delay. I thought I could find a reference that I had made on the trip to those games, but I'm just going to go on. I can't find it, and I apologize for that. But when the repairs were done, Nehemiah's, Ezra, and Nehemiah's time, they began the repairs began at the sheep gate. And why do you use that was? Well, because you had to have the sheep gate so that the animal sacrifices could pass through that gate. So they began with the sheep gate, and then they worked their way all around the city wall, gate by gate, and they ended with the inspection gate. That was the last gate to be repaired. And some Messianic Jewish scholars believe that this has significance for the Lord's second coming, his return, that as he oversees the end time judgments, that this inspection day will figure prominently somehow. So a bridge was built from the inspection gate on the northeast corner, across the Kidron Valley and Mount Moriah, which was a less tall mountain than Mount Zion, to the sacrifice site for the red heifer sacrifice on the Mount of Olives. The reason for the bridge is that in the Kidron Valley below the bridge were thousands and thousands of graves, the touching of which would have made those who walked across them to the sacrifice site unclean. And you have to at least be clean when you began the red heifer sacrifice. So they built the bridge, and I believe that it was a low-lying bridge. It was just tall enough so that people could not reach up and touch either the priest or the heifer as it walked along the bridge. So the red heifer was inspected until its third year to make sure that in all that time there was no blemish or spot on it. And this period of time paralleled Yeshua's earthly ministry in that it lasted 3 years. And that also lets you know why these four heifers are being kept there in Israel and scrupulously watched and tended to and inspected. They to make it blemish free until their third year. All right. So then, once you had this qualifying red heifer and it had reached the desired age, it was taken out of the inspection gate, the census gate, across the bridge site of the offering. Now, Jesus carried the cross to the inspection gate where Simon the Cyrene was present in service to carry it through the gate outside the city to Golgotha. And if you want to read some scripture from the four gospel accounts that give more information about this, I've listed them in my blog, and you can find this information that I'm sharing with you. If you go to my blog, just tickering across the bottom, you can search for the post that is titled, it's entitled Mystery of the Red Heifer. The Mystery of the Red Heifer. And trying to hide it, but I might as well just mess up and tell you I have hiccups. Okay, so if you see some hitches in my speech, I'm hiccuping and trying sometimes unsuccessfully to hide it. So you know, we're just all human. So just gotta will bear with me. It seems like anything, everything is happening this broadcast today, and some days are like that. So thank you for bearing with me. All right. So as I read to you from the passage in Numbers, um, the red heifer could not be sacrificed within city walls. It could not be sacrificed within the city walls. Many believe that the site of Golgotha was at the other end of this bridge that I referred to earlier, in or near the place of the Mount of Olives where the red heifer sacrifices had been made over centuries since the day of Moses. There was a clear line of sight between the doors of the temple and the place of the sacrifice of the red heifer. The heifer was positioned on the altar that they built over there so that its head was facing the front of the tent of meeting, and later the front doors of the temple across the bridge. The priest cut the heifer throat with his right hand, and he collected its blood in his left hand. He then dipped his finger, his index finger, in the blood and flung it toward the temple 7 times, as recorded in verse 19:4. Now, as Jesus hung on the stake on Golgotha, the Mount of Olives, he faced the front of the temple. At the moment he gave up the ghost, crying, "It is finished," the doors of the temple stood open. The Passover lamb was being sacrificed by the high priest, and the veil in the temple's holy of holies was ripped in two from the top to the bottom, as is recorded in Matthew 27:51. Other elements of the red heifer sacrifice involve the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet yarn. Now, tradition and some scholars say that the vertical beam of Jesus' cross was made of cedar. As he hung on the cross and expressed his thirst, a sponge was soaked in vinegar, placed on the end of a stalk of hyssop, and lifted to his lips. That is recorded in John 15:29. As Jesus scourged, leading up to his crucifixion, a robe made of scarlet thread was placed on him. We find it recorded in Matthew 27:28. And then at the foot of the cross, soldiers gambled for his garments. The red heifer's body was burned, and the ashes were placed in a clean jar. At the moment of salvation, the Holy Spirit unites with us, baptizing us with holy fire. This is for our cleansing and purifying, and for sealing us as members of the bride of Christ. And this jar with the ashes was then placed in a newly hewn grave for 3 days. People, you just can't make this up. You just can't make it. For each red heifer that was sacrificed, a newly hewn resting place was made. Jesus' body was laid in a newly hewn grave belonging to Joseph of Arimathea, and after 3 days, well, we know what happened. He rose again, triumphant. Amen. Now, after the third day, the ashes of the heifer were mixed with water, and then that sacred water was kept on hand for the purification of the people. It was also sent in jars of it, were sent all throughout the kingdom of Israel to be used for its designated purification purpose. Water in the New Testament is associated with salvation. You may recall verse with the washing of water by the word. Okay. Baptism is a symbol of the salvation decision and transformation that has taken place. We read about that both in the New Testament and in the Tanakh. Ephesians 5:26 talks about this, and Psalm 51, verses 1 through 10 talk about this as well. Now, here's another mystery, yet another mystery. Prayer sacrifice. Those who participated in the offering of it became unclean through the offering audit. It is the only offering through which one made the offering by virtue of doing it became unclean. Isn't that interesting? King Solomon told that he, in all of his supernatural given wisdom, could not understand this. And he talks about this in Ecclesiastes 7:23. How does an offering that provides cleansing make one who performs sacrifice unclean? Red, often associated with sin in the Bible. We see this in Isaiah 1:18. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. And the red heifer offering, according to Numbers 19:9, was a sin offering. Also, there was no requirement given to Moses that those making the red heifer sacrifice be Levitical priests. Now, most often they were, but it was not a requirement. And who carried out the actual crucifixion of Yeshua? While Jewish religious leaders instigated to be sure and were in agreement with the act, the ones who actually carried it out were not Levitical priests, nor were they even Hebrews. They were Romans, unconverted pagan Romans. Finally, according to Orthodox Judaism today, holds that a red heifer sacrifice must be made before the next temple can be rebuilt and temple sacrifice resumed. Further, they believe the temple must be rebuilt before their Messiah can come. Therefore, the Orthodox Jews continually search for their next elusive red heifer. Now, as believers in Messiah, Yeshua, we believe that our Messiah, Yeshua, Mashiach, fulfilled this mystery, this red heifer sacrifice, through his death on the cross, through his burial, triumphant resurrection. We further believe that he will return to the Mount of Olives again in fulfillment of Zechariah 14, verses 4 through 7. Another interesting fact, and this is really unusual, the priest who designated slaughtered the red heifer is already being prepared. In fact, let me explain how that works in Israel. There is a group of Levitical women who are designated to bear children. One of whom would offer the next red heifer sacrifice. Of course, female children are not considered. It would be a male. And these women, they clean themselves, ritually clean. They bear their children in a designated place. Those children spend their entire lives in that designated place. The designated priest must be at least 17 years old, and he must have been raised his entire life in a corpse-free environment. Why? Because there are no red heifer ashes to purify him. So he has to have been raised his entire life where his feet have never touched a grave. And that condition along with all that is done to achieve it, will absolutely boggle your mind. Well, the actual spot where the red heifer office was made has been determined. How? By surveying the land, by using the latest sonar and laser and 21st century machinery, and they've discovered the remains of the necessary mikveh and other structures associated with making the sacrifice. But most important, the location had to be high up enough on the Mount of Olives to allow the priest to see from that location through the eastern gate and then straight into the eastern doors of the temple. And what's tricky here is there is a lot of debate about where the temple was actually located, but most authorities agree it was located on the spot where the Muslim Dome of the Rock stands today. That's not a unanimous agreement, however. And where the temple stood dictate where the red heifer offering would have taken place. After we left Dominus 11, we walked down a very steep and narrow road past the entrance to the Garden of Gethsemane to meet our bus. Now, I didn't have to go into the Garden of Gethsemane on this particular occasion, but I have been to the Garden of Gethsemane before, and I've seen the olive trees, most of which are between 2,000 and 3,000 years old. It is amazing how long those trees live, but many of these olive trees are still producing olives. It's just, it's just mind-boggling. Well, the rest of that day, our last day, we shopped and we ate, we laughed, and we reminisced. We revisited our favorite parts of the area around our hotel and or the old city of Jerusalem. And then we packed, which was quite a feat given all the shopping that was done in our group. My goodness, I was a lightweight. My roommate, I ended up managing to pack all of my things into one of my suitcases, and I let her use my other suitcase. She bought some stuff. She was very grateful for me. But anyway, we did get it all packed. And that night at dinner, we all had dinner together, and each of us received a certificate from the leaders of our tour group, certifying each of us as a Jerusalem pilgrim. And those 13 days we got to spend in Jerusalem were such a blessing, such a blessing. All right, so I want to forecast a little bit for you. You're coming up on Rosh Hashanah in a couple of weeks, and 231. Happy New Year coming up, the civil New Year. And I am going to next week on the 6th, I'm going to be teaching again from the book of Ruth. I'm going to take up in the third chapter with the sixth verse, and you have missed the first teaching on the book of Ruth. You can find them on my YouTube channel. You see that scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So you can find those there, and you can go back and listen to those, catch up if you want to. I forget how many of them there are. There's several. Okay. But I hope you're sitting chapter 2. And I have history. Oh my goodness, it's been since mid-May since I taught in Ruth. It has been a minute. Okay, so we will start with, and we will finish the book of Ruth up. I think it's going to take 3 more sessions in the book of Ruth. All right, then, I almost always teach live, right? This is live. It has pitfalls, such as what or what at least I've experienced with this feedback. Okay. Um, at any rate, I'm going to the following week, the 13th, I believe it is. I'm going to record my session because I will be out of town, I'll be out of state, I'll be very far away from my office here. So I'm going to pre-record my first teaching in the fourth chapter of Ruth. Okay. And then the next week is the 20th, and I will be teaching the 20th. The week after brings us to the 27th, and I'll be teaching live that week. But the following week, I that is one of the Holy Weeks. Um, Probably going to teach live week. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna teach live week on the 4th, and, I believe that I'm going to well, I've not decided what I'm going to do here with you, fully. I'm still mulling that over. It may be the book of Esther. I would love to do the book of Esther with you. That's the leading candidate at the moment, okay? Uh, but at any rate, I enjoyed being with you this week, and I warned you last week that this last day of our trip would be a little bit abbreviated, would be a little bit short. So um, I'm going to sign off today. Wish you a wonderful week in Messiah. Make the most of these days of Elul. Do some introspection. I hope you've already been doing that. Love the Elul. It is an opportunity for me to more closely examine myself and my walk with the Lord, with the King. As the expression goes, the King is in the field, and it's a wonderful time to get our lives right as we come up to the new year, as we end this year. And of course, in real time, we have a hurricane that is coming ashore, Florida. It's going to be moving across South Georgia. It's not coming near where I live, but my heart is burdened for those who are in the path of the storm. It may turn after it crosses over Georgia and go up the East Coast. So please keep those in the path of daily in your prayers. And we'll just look forward to seeing you next week. Let me get back to where I'm supposed to be here. Shalom.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.